Well, after like only a week of playing, here is my third Victoria 2 AAR after action report. And this time it was my first time actually successfully playing Switzerland on a mod. This is called the Assimilation mod, or Assimilation Nation mod, I think it was. It's basically the same game, however, it has 3 special events in it. One, there's an event that lets you get a little bit of prestige for spend 500 pounds. It gives you a little bit of prestige over a year. And there's one that you spend 4,000 pounds and it would give you massive military strength or investment for like 4 years, I think it was. But there's one mod, but this mod's main thing is it has an assimilation event. Now, normally it lasts like, I think 5 years, but I actually changed it so it's for the rest of the game, where it literally causes like a 90% permanent assimilation rate. So basically, every country in the world is going to be one culture, basically. Homogeneous indeed. So I decided to play as Switzerland and decided to give the assimilation mod a go, since it's been a long time since I last played it. And of course, the main problem, I've played Switzerland numerous times. I've gotten them great power every time I played them, but the main problem was you're damn fucking stuck in land in Europe. You can't go anywhere unless someone helps you. But this time I actually got lucky enough, and both Sardinia and France, it was like 10 years later in the 1840s, they finally helped me attack Egypt. And for some reason I had so high jingoism that I was able to get not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 provinces of Egypt. And France was nice enough to get all 4 of them for me. And once that happened, I was able to set up shop quickly. I took over basically the rest of Egypt. I took over Yemen, Hijaz. I took over the parts of Ethiopia that at the time were alive, because at this point in the game, I think it was the Ottomans actually took over this part of Ethiopia, and there was a crisis breaking out that France forced them to give Ethiopia back. So I wanted to take them over, but unfortunately France had sphere of them for the entire game until like really near the end of the game, when all of a sudden the British were able to take them over. So that's unfortunate. I couldn't colonize though because I had too much colonial points tied up to Switzerland. I mean, I'm tied up, since it kept coming out wrong. Tied up to Egypt, Hijaz, and Yemen. So I was stuck in that regard. But of course, by and large, for most of the game, I was still stuck. At least a good chunk of my troops in Switzerland, because I had no way to get out of Europe by and large, at least in Switzerland. Then, Italy got weak because they were fucked up by a war between Austria, Hungary, France, and all of them. So I was able to go in and take the Piedmont from them, which was awesome. And I got Sardinia from them, which I didn't even realize till much later on because I'm so dumb. So I finally had my access to sea. World War I broke out, and I was kind of fucked because it was involving China. It was about Guangxi, and on the one side you had Germany, the UK, Italy trying to support Guangxi, and the other side you had Russia, China, France, and Austria-Hungary signed with China. So I was kind of fucked because I was going to be fucked either way who I was attacking, but I decided to take the bold risk and side with Germany instead of fighting Germany and Italy a little bit to the north and south. I'll fight France and Austria-Hungary to the east and west, and that was actually a smart thing because we actually won that war in quite a big landslide, as I managed to get this chunk from France and I actually beat Germany in one war they were involved in. That no, it's Prussia, I believe. They got fucked up really badly, or maybe it was North German Federation. I can't remember. Anyways, after that, I expanded out here more. I took over a jet, or whatever it's pronounced right here, much later on. I then actually took Taiwan from China decades beforehand, like before the 1900s. And then I actually took over Korea very soon afterwards. And in the last like 20 years, I've been taking over parts of China instead. And because of that, my industry boomed. Like, I've gained like 300 points like in the last 5 years of the game. I have the #1 military in the world thanks to my strong navy. All this prestige too. Noble Show Off. That's the event where you spend 500 pounds and you get 1/10 of his prestige every month. So a prestige every year basically if you renew it. So yeah, and of course with the Assimilation mod, like I said, all the demographics change rapidly. Take a look at this. I see a good chunk of that part of Italy is still like Swiss and Italian. This part of France is pretty much Swiss, as you go on here. Now, this part was really weird. For the vast majority of the game, this was still stuck as Egypt's main demographic. They would not change whatsoever. In fact, it was mostly Yemen that was doing a little bit of changing, but not much, not by much. It was when I finally taking over China is when they finally started turning Swiss. And in fact, when I took over Korea, all the Koreans started coming into Africa for a while. That was unbelievable. And then, of course, we've got here, majority Swiss out here in a jet. Hong Kong, Taiwan is still majority, whatever the Chinese main group was. Same goes for Korea, but look at this. Swiss China actually is becoming Swiss, which is hard to believe because they immigrated the hell out of the place. I mean, they're immigrated, to say, to different parts of the world, and everyone's just turned Swiss, I guess because of the, supplies, because most of the game, I was able to keep low taxes on the rich, middle class, solid, okay, tax on the poor. I had for a while negative tariff for a good portion of the game, but unfortunately later on I couldn't afford it, so I had to go back to neutral. And sometimes I had to go up to positive, meaning raise the tariff, unfortunately. But yeah, this is my first time I was able to play Switzerland in a full game, and it was very successful. And this was like over 6,000 points probably scored, or 5,000, 6,000 points. So that's up there in the top 10, almost top 5, I think, for my highest scoring game ever. That was quite impressive. I enjoyed playing Switzerland, finally having a good game with them. I'm hoping to do even better next time. Maybe I was the third best power in the world. So I hope you enjoyed it. And now to take a look at the final standings and the map.